Hey everyone, Danielle Fitzpatrick Clark here from Influence Builder. And if you're here, you guys are here to watch the 10X Your Tribe in 2022. So I'm going to show you guys like the three things that we did that really skyrocketed our tribe, our following in the last year and even beyond that. And for our clients too, this worked really well. So I always like to test these things out and see how they work. A lot of it's the same stuff we've been doing. We just added in some extra tactics. So you guys may be wondering, well, how important is it for me to actually grow my following? And it's guys, it's super important. Like if you have been listening to marketers, digital marketers and business coaches, I mean, they're saying the same thing is that you need to grow your following. Even if you are kind of in that in between place before you're launching your first product, or if you're going to do a vertical in your business and you haven't launched it yet, now is the time to start building the tribe. Before you need to launch it, that's when you want to start building that following and start segmenting them for something really specific to what you're going to be selling. If you have a following, one of the things that you guys can do is you can actually start segmenting them if you haven't already. And I mean, I get the segmentation. If you guys have an email list and it's larger than 1,000, it can feel really daunting to segment these guys even more. And I get it. But if you went to the back end of our CRM, you may be shocked a little bit. There's a lot of segmentation, a lot of sequencing going on. It's because we really want to focus on the customer experience, and we're always learning too. So even we have our CRM not work correctly for us. It is tech, but you know what? If you say, "Yep, you know what, guys, that tagging didn't work correctly, our apologies," and most people are pretty forgiving because, you know, if they've been in the online space and they've been in tech and they know that it can be really wonky sometimes. So, um, that's what I say is like always ask for forgiveness if it's something that's happening with the tech and just fix it or find a way to fix it or something. But segmentation is absolutely um, important when you're growing your tribe. Start before instead of having to go back is my recommendation with segmentation because it's really not fun to go back and segment even further, and you have to be really creative and it takes a little more time. It's worth it, but you know what, if you can do it at the beginning, I absolutely would. So um yes, so 10xing your tribe. All right, so we did a few things that worked really good this year. One of them is, and this is what I'll talk about first, guys, is that we really honed in on our lead magnets, and not just lead magnets where they're freebie lead magnets, but lead magnets that are drawing people in. So we even have our low ticket lead magnets that draw people in and draw the right people in, and then we can segment from there as well. So it's not just it's not just something that's attractive to bring people in for free. Because I know I have a lot of clients like I don't do freebie lead magnets, and I'm like, oh, I completely understand. And it's because they do want to grow their following, but they want to grow their following with people who have some skin in the game. So people will take it a little more seriously, and it's just human psychology, guys. So, I mean, I grab stuff for free all the time. So I'm like, oh, that sounds really cool. Let me see how they did that. I want to see how their funnel went. And sometimes paying for something makes you look at it. And the more that you pay for it, the better chance you have at taking a look and doing the course, doing the program because you're looking for a certain amount of results. So there is some psychology around that. Do you have to do freebie lead magnets? No, you absolutely don't. You can do paid lead magnets that are attractive. Small ticket works really well. Um, we did both. We did both. And here's the thing with lead magnets, they can be stuff that you already have in your business. So when I bring on new clients or when I bring on new mastermind group people, we will do an inventory. So we'll do an inventory of like, okay, what do you have for lead magnets right now? What are your numbers? Have they been working? Do you have any bonuses that you put into your program? Have those worked really well one off? And we'll do a complete inventory, and we will hopefully they'll have some metrics. A lot of people don't have metrics, and that's okay too. We can always get the metrics later. We can always figure it out and test it if we think if it's a gold one, a gold lead magnet. So look at what you have, and then also look at what you've done for trainings. Like, this is a training, this is a LinkedIn Live. I get to download this afterwards. I have a video. I can turn this into, and I do, and I turn it into a lead magnet by just having it turned into an evergreen webinar, right? So you can absolutely take any of the trainings that you guys are doing and turn those into a lead magnet, especially those ones that are very well received. So if you're getting on there, hey Kelly, oh, thanks for having us. Yeah, see, she's got some great tip. I know people, as people start building an email, some don't think segmentation is necessary from the start. It is. Yes, if you can, Kelly knows. Kelly knows. But yeah, you really do want to segment from the beginning. And it's just coming from both places of segmenting at the beginning, and then segmenting afterwards. For my clients too, segmenting afterwards. It gets a lot harder the larger your list is. And I will say, once you hit that 1,000 mark on followers, on email subscribers, it's fun. It's fun. Not really, but it's fun. So that's a really good, thank you, Kelly. She's absolutely right. It's really necessary to segment. So back to the lead magnets, you can turn your trainings into lead magnets. You can take a series of trainings and turn them into lead magnets. They can even be paid lead magnets. So if you did a whole series, um, let's say you picked a month last year, 2021, can you believe it? It's 2022. But 2021, you did a whole week long series where you just came in and gave like 10 minutes of like little tidbits of your expertise. And you did that maybe you did it as a way to promote one of your programs and to get people to come in, and you just didn't turn it into something else. So you could actually take those trainings and turn it into a challenge, an evergreen challenge where people sign up, and at the end they get an outcome. So like stuff that you already have, material that you already have, can be turned into a lead magnet. It can be turned into a freebie lead magnet. It can be turned into a paid lead magnet, which is really great. So and there's a whole lot of ways to say paid lead magnet. There's a whole bunch of different ways of saying it. So you can tell I really like those paid lead magnets a lot. They work wonderfully. So what does this have to do with you getting more people coming in? Well, you want to have a baseline of really attractive lead magnets, and you want to be able to use those and pull from that library of attractive lead magnets, the ones that are converting really well, the ones that are solving some kind of a challenge for your ideal client. So we do want to come from a place of solution. The best lead magnets are coming from that place of solving something very common for your ideal client, but something they cannot find on Google. So that's the other thing. So I have people like, "Can't I just find this on Google?" I'm like, "You can try to find this on Google. I guarantee you won't." Because for one, this is pulling all these pieces together, and two, this is my own tested proprietary, so makes it really attractive. It's true. But if you say you can't find this on Google, nobody's tested it like I have, then that's a very attractive lead magnet. If it's something that they're asking for, that makes it even more attractive. If you're solving something that they can't solve on their own, or it will take them tons and tons of time to solve, or it'll take them a lot of money to solve, that's an attractive lead magnet. So just take an inventory, guys, of what you have for lead magnets and pick out at least two. So minimum of 2 lead magnets that do that, or they have the potential to do that. If they have the potential, then beef them up. And how do you beef them up? Well, first go and ask people, "Hey, I have this lead magnet. I'm thinking about putting it out there again. Is this something that you would download immediately? Is this something that you would just grab?" They'll tell you yes or no, or they'll give you an explanation, and take that feedback and either keep it and launch it or revamp it so that it is more attractive. So start off with at least two. I like to have a baseline of 5 lead magnets that I know convert and they bring in people. So what we did was we had lead magnets, and we would be launching one. So we would actually launch a lead magnet. It could be a paid one, it could be a free one. Sometimes we launched a paid one once a month and a free one once a month. Or we use that free one to bring them into the next step program or product to buy. And that next step could be that small ticket lead magnet that we have. So sometimes we put it in the front of it. So we actually chose to do either a free lead magnet for 1 month, And that's all we did. Or we did a lead magnet, a free lead magnet, and then we would also do a paid one, a small ticket one. So we did that throughout last year. It worked really, really well. We would get hundreds of people within just a few days, especially with those paid ones. And so they would be segmented and nurtured throughout the year. So that alone would be something that was huge. And we did it more in a sprint style than we did in just a trickle. So it would be very exciting. It would be limited time. We may even throw something extra on it, like a complimentary call with me or another freebie lead magnet, something that would be like a logical next step for them. And we would do sprints, and then that's what we would do that month, and it ended up bringing in hundreds of people. So and, I liked doing this better than one of the other things that a lot of people do, which is summits and challenge and not challenges. I like challenges because they're sprints, but summits and like giveaways. So um, I've run them. I haven't run them last year. Did not run them, but I've run them. I used to manage them. That's what we did several years ago. We've done a lot of them. So summits and giveaways, yes, they can bring in people. And I have found that actually doing what I'm doing with these more sprint like premium lead magnets brings in more people. And I don't have to share the list. That's the other thing. When you do a summit and a giveaway, you're sharing the list with everybody else who's contributing. They're coming in for my lead magnet, for my expertise, and it makes that sales process much easier. So that was something that we did, and we just did it a lot. We did it a lot. So we did a free one at least once a month. So we did 12. Sometimes we would just take one and revamp it, or I would take my trainings and revamp them. Or I would do this and then I would revamp the training and let people trickle in throughout the month. But that ended up being a huge list build for us. So now to piggyback off of that one, what is one of the premium lead magnets that we did, and how did we expand from there? So we ran advertisements. So we ran Facebook ads, and we waited until we had tested out a lot of different lead magnets, a lot of different scenarios, um, because then we could find what is it that our ideal client was really looking for. And so they were really looking for visibility. They were looking for visibility. They would use words like impact and influence, and that was really important to them. I mean, money is really, really important too, but our people really, I mean, it makes sense. Our company's called Influence Builder. So we found that people really wanted to be influential. They really wanted to be seen and heard as with their expertise out in the forefront. And so we created a quiz. We created a quiz to see just how much do you guys like this? Does it resonate? And we actually had one, I think over a year ago. So no, 2 years ago we created one, and we did it on another platform. So we just turned it around. We turned it into something different that we knew would convert better with ads. So that's the other thing, is that if you have a lead magnet that worked really well, and then something happened where it wasn't working as well, take a look at it, because I don't think that it's the lead magnets all the time. Sometimes it's not the content in the lead magnet. Sometimes the content is really on point, and it's the delivery mechanism. Sometimes it's just the delivery mechanism. Maybe it takes too many clicks to get through it. Maybe it's the funnel. And people are falling off. This is why I do like metrics. I'm like, it's okay because we can figure them out. But if you have them, even better. But yes, we found that we already had a quiz, and it was just the platform that it was on. It was too hard to navigate. It was too many clicks, and we weren't going to be able to scale. We just weren't going to be able to scale with using it. There's just too much red tape. So we moved it to a different platform, and we ran it from there. So, what platform do you prefer? Quiz lead magnets. That's really good. So, Kelly, thank you. What she's asking the good questions. So when we ran Facebook ads, and that was the platform of advertising that we chose, we actually put our quiz into a chatbot. So one that we had used, we used ManyChat. ManyChat created the quiz in a chatbot. We upgraded to, I think it's like a premium version where I believe it's like 10 or 15 a month, but that allows for integration of email. And then we were able to capture email, and we were able to test audiences. And then when we got the audience ad price point the way that we wanted, it was converting at the dollar that we wanted, or I think it ended up converting from anywhere from like, it was like almost $2, but then it went down to $1.50, then went down to less than a dollar. So, and that was actual emails that were coming in. So we just tweaked it until we got it there, and then that's a really good lead magnet. We still run it. So we still run it. We still have people coming in, trickling in, and then of course we filter from there and we segment from there. So that was an awesome lead magnet. We actually create awesome quizzes too. If you guys want to check it out, you can always go ahead and DM me and I'll send you some of our examples, some of our client examples too. I'm sure they would love for you to check out their amazing lead magnets. So that's kind of what we did for advertising. Now, I'm of the idea that, and this has just served me really well in digital marketing. I'm of the idea that if you're going to promote from a platform, then anything you lead them into, your best bet is going to be to stay within that platform. So, what I mean by that is we were running Facebook advertisements. It made sense for us to move our quiz to the Facebook platform, which with a chatbot, it actually comes through our Facebook business page. And it always converts better. It always converts better that way rather than having them go out um, to a third party app that's outside of the platform. So when we're doing quizzes and we're specifically bringing quizzes into our email list, then we actually will put them and integrate them within our CRM where the emails are being held, and it always works better. So rather than sending them out to a chat bot, because we don't even know if they have Facebook, sometimes they don't, sometimes they hate it. I know I have a lot of people that I'm connected to here on LinkedIn, and they don't like Facebook. I've got the survey to prove it, the poll to prove it. But that's the other thing. We can't make assumptions. If they're on a different platform than where they started, we can't make the assumptions that they're willing to go to that platform. They may not be. So, rule of thumb is that you always want to stay on the platform that you're advertising on if possible. And if it's not possible, then keep it to as little transition as possible, meaning that one click is the best. So one click out is the best. Don't give them a whole bunch of hoops to roll through if your idea is to get leads. Now, if you do want more hoops, I get it. I absolutely do. We do this as a filtering system, but that's a different conversation. So, if you're looking for numbers, if you're looking for leads to get them in, warm them up, and segment them, then you want as little transition touch points as possible. If you do want just aligned leads, and I like those, I love aligned leads, then you can create some filtering in between in that funnel in that transition. So but yeah, that's number 2. We advertised and we tested, we tweaked, and then we expanded on our in our advertising. I don't like just to throw $100 at an ad that's performing okay. I'm like, let me see how low I can get it, and then I'll start putting more money into the ads. So we did that. We scaled extremely quickly on that. And, I think the 2022, I think it's going to be a year of creating ads that are, there's a lot of different types, not ads, I'm sorry, quizzes. So I think it's going to be a great year for quizzes. I think that, oh, there's a question. Hold on. I'll come back to it, Amy. Just one second. I think that quizzes, it's going to be a really big year for quizzes. I think that there's a lot of different types of quizzes you can use. Our favorite is personality quizzes just because we have an understanding of our ideal clients and they like to learn about themselves. So they like to understand themselves more and just how they can discover something about themselves and use it. So we work with business owners. Some people use quizzes to actually filter and learn more about their ideal clients and give them advice on where they need to go next. Those are really good ones too. So those are a little bit different than the personality ones. Those are more of, hey, this is some of the common scenarios that come up for our business owners, our ideal clients. Let's help them go through it. Let's ask them some questions. Then we can segment from there and give them some really good answers. So those are really good quizzes too. So I like those ones for 2022 as well. Just depends on what you're trying to do with it. If you're trying to get leads, you're going to segment further. Absolutely, get personality quizzes work great. If you're more or less trying to filter people in, but you actually have like they have a challenge and something that you can solve with a few questions, you can create a quiz based on that. Those are really good too. So Amy has a question here. Let me show you guys. Suggest a number of clicks. Depends. Depends. It always depends. I usually say, I need more information. The scientist in me is always like, I need more information from you. So let's just do a scenario real quick, and then you guys can you can piggyback off of a scenario that I give you. So let's just say that you you have a quiz, you want to use that quiz for filtering, right? So you're going to move them into another platform, and you may want to filter them before they even take the quiz. So let's just say that that's what you want to do. You want to make sure they're serious. And I've seen this done really well with advertising from Facebook too. So we call it, it's like, I call it the kitchen. There's a kitchen sink funnel that we have where basically we're bringing people over. Yes, they can go ahead and take a quiz. But before they do, we want them to go to a Linktree page. So the funnel brings them to, the ad brings them to a Linktree page. They can go ahead and choose the quiz that way. So that's a couple different quick clicks. That could be one click from the ad into Linktree, and then from Linktree, and we can put the quiz right at the top. They can click into there. Oh, but they have more choices, so it could be different clicks. But here's the thing. If you're going to use Linktree, just make sure that you can tag people as they enter in somehow. So if your idea is to use a quiz, but you also want them to see all the goodness that you're up to on a Linktree, then make sure that everything off of that Linktree is an opt-in, and then they can go into whatever lead magnet you want to. If it's a quiz, then that's 1, 2, 3. That's 3 clicks. So that can work if you're segmenting or if you have multiple ideal clients. So that's the other thing. Sometimes we have multiple ideal clients and we have multiple offerings. How do you segment? That's a really good way to segment. We call that our kitchen sink funnel. That one's some people call it a Linktree funnel. I call it a kitchen sink because we throw all of our traffic when we're trying to decide who our ideal client is. We throw all of our traffic into a Linktree, and then we have some very different lead magnets that they can choose from. They're going to choose what makes the most sense for them, and that segmentation is done. So, and if they get there and they're overwhelmed, we scare them away. That's the other great thing. We scare them away. So it does act as a filtering process for that. So if you are still trying to, get numbers and you're going to segment in your nurture funnels after that, then I would say try to have it be 1 click to the other platform. So a quiz platform, 1 click, registration, 2 clicks in. So 2 clicks would be, if you can get away with 2 clicks, that's great. If you're still looking for more numbers, then try to keep it to 2 clicks. I'm just going to make an assumption that some of you guys may be wondering, because like, I don't want to learn ManyChat, right? I don't want to learn another platform. I have my quiz here. So what's a good number? 2. Add to opt-in for quiz, opt-in to quiz start. If you can get away with it, if there's still another click through that has to happen because you have an intro page, that's okay too. I would take it out and just see if it converts better if you're still not liking the conversions. So 2's the best. 1's the best, really. I mean, if it clicks right in there and it happens right on that platform, I mean, that's 1 click. That's the best one. 2, second best. 3, third best, and then 4 and 5 and so on and so on. So you kind of get what I'm saying here. But that's kind of what I'm just making an assumption there that you guys may already have a platform for your quizzes and you don't want to learn another one. Totally get it. Doesn't mean you can't use it. These are just some suggestions. So we have got 2. So we got 2 of those 3 things. One is really great lead magnets. People call them premium lead magnets or premium freebies. Whole bunch of other names for them, hybrid freebies. Those are your free lead magnets that are awesome. And yes, 2022 is going to be calling you to beef your lead magnets up. They got to be awesome. They've got to be awesome, and they've got to be they have to be solving a challenge that your ideal client has. Now, my suggestion for those premium freebies is that if you are looking to get them into a program, make sure that your lead magnet is actually a complement to what you would be offering. And I've seen it before where people just put out a lead magnet that they know um, their ideal client is going to love. Is it something that they do in their business? No, it's not. So they're putting out a lead magnet. It's not something that they teach on. And then that's where that nurture usually stops. So I mean, it's very abrupt. It's not a great customer journey for these guys. So let's just say that female entrepreneurs are your bread and butter, right? Those are your ideal clients, and your business is in accounting. It's in account numbers. So something to do with numbers, accounting makes a lot of sense. Maybe it's even that you're a bookkeeper, but you really want those guys. And you know that your favorite clients are their speakers, right? They're speakers. And what does every speaker want depending on where they are in their timeline? For the most part, a lot of them want paid speaking gigs. They want paid speaking gigs. So you could actually hire out someone to find paid speaking gigs for 2022. And you bring them in, they come in, they're speakers, they're excited, they have this, great, I can run with it, I'm going to run. Now, if you're a bookkeeper or you're an accountant, you don't know if they need one. So you would have to really warm these guys up a lot. And again, with every click through, with every question, there is a drop off. There's a drop off, right? So you haven't filtered these guys that came in, they grab what they wanted, and then they're out. Most of them are going to be out. If you have some more lead-in questions like, hey, here's what we do. We're an accounting firm. Do you have an accountant? That would be one survey question, one click. Yes, no. Some of them would say yes. Majority of them would say yes if they came through. So they're out, right? Unless you've got some really great things on why their accountant stinks. I mean, you could always run with that too. The ones that say no, great. They go more into your funnels. Again, it's another click. You're going to lose people. So you may have a very small percentage that are like, no, I don't. Are you looking for one? Yes, no. Hopefully they are, but they need paid speaking gigs too, guys. So they need to make some money before they're going to need an accountant. So then that's another click, and then another click, and then another click, and then another click. So this is why I say like your premium lead magnets, it needs to be a complement of what you're already doing. So they're coming in for something. So what would make a really good lead magnet for an accountant? Geez, you know what I would really like? I would really like a calculator. Show me what I need to make, show me what I need to bring in for my overall income to make my personal income work for me. That would be fantastic. Like I would totally be into that. And if it also solved the problem of how to create your team based on your numbers and how much you want to expand, something like that would be really good. So I would like a calculator, and I would like something that I could drag and drop, right? Let me see. Oh, thank you, Susan, for coming on. Yeah, that's really good stuff. Yes, I will make the recording available. So if you're on my email list, we're going to send it out. If you guys want to be on my email list, just DM it to us. Go ahead and DM it. You don't have to drop it here for everyone to see. You can just send it to us personally, and we will put you up. And yes, we'll have a replay for this. So just a little stop on that for you guys. But yeah, so for your lead magnets, it makes sense to have one that is going to be conducive to what you're trying to get them to, an offer of some sort. We have lead magnets to bring them in so that we can, of course, sell to them or bring them into something else, or maybe it's even that you want to bring in a certain amount of people for a referral base. So it just depends on your end goals, and you reverse engineer from there. And I hear this a lot. Especially from digital marketers. They say you need to reverse engineer, start with this, and then reverse engineer from there. So Your lead magnets can be the same way, guys. So you may be like, I think I need to beef up my lead magnets. I've done my inventory and I'm still at a loss. What am I going to do? And I do understand we are focusing on lead magnets. It's just really important, guys. This is a big part of how we've built so much this year. So I'm just going to give you guys this one more little tip on this, which is the reverse engineering of the outcome that you want. So if you are having a lead magnet and yes, the outcome is to get more leads, but what are you getting more leads for? Maybe you have a program that you're launching in 4 weeks and you need more leads. You need to be able to warm them up over 4 weeks because right now you've done the calculations. You don't have enough to fill the program the way that you know you want to. So what is that program? And you ask yourself, okay, well, this is what the program is. This is the problem that this program solves. So what's a really popular one this time of year? I want to choose something different. I always go for health coaches. So and I always go into coaching. So let's just say that, well, let's just use business coaching. Let's just use that one. I haven't used that one in a long time. Let's just say you're a business coach. And one of the things that you do specifically that your genius is at is that you help people who are at 5K a month expand to 10K a month in 3 months. So yeah, I'm being really specific, but maybe that's the type of business coach you are. Maybe you help them fill the gaps. You help them repackage their products and so that they can sell them for more and not have to work all the time. So more money, less time, happier life, right? Happier life if I don't have to work all the time. So we'll just say that's the end goal, is to get them into that 3-month container, that 3-month program. So what are some of the things that are coming up for them? Well, you solve I need to double my income and I need to do it fast. That's a big pain point. That's a big challenge. You get to charge a premium price for that one. That's a really good one. You're doubling their income in 3 months. That's pretty impressive. So let's actually reverse engineer from there. So what else do they need? So yes, they need to double their income. What else do they need to do to double their income? Maybe they need to increase their leads. Maybe they need lead generation. Maybe they think that's what it is. Like, I just need more leads. Maybe they need sales conversions. Maybe they have this awesome program, but for whatever reason, they're not able to get people onto sales calls. And then you have to dig into that. So we'll just use that one. They're like, I need to get more people on sales calls, which is really common, right? So you may have a lead magnet that is the perfect fit for getting more people on sales calls. So whatever that is, whatever your little genius is, and it could be like, here's how, and you can pull from personal experience too with your lead magnets, guys. We do it all the time. It works great. So you could actually say, I remember when I really needed sales. And so I knew that I had a 50% conversion, which is really good. And I needed so many sales calls to get that 50% conversion to fill my group program. So pull from that and say, here's what I did to get 50 sales calls in 14 days. That's lead magnet right there, guys. 50 sales calls booked in 14 days. Here is my 10-step checklist. Just like that. Just like that. So what you do know is that it's more than just the sales calls. Really, for them what they really want is they want to double their income, but you're going to get them in. You're going to get them in with that checklist. Then you can start filtering them through nurture funnels. And you can say, listen, I remember when I was trying to get in all these sales calls, but here was the downer, is that I filled my program, but it still only kept me at a income level that I was not happy with. So I can completely understand. Here are some of the steps I did to double my income, and you can give some more lead magnets. You can actually put this right into an email nurture series on some of these steps. And then at the end of it, it's like, would you like to join my program where I teach you how to do this, and we dig in and we do strategy specifically for you and your business? That's a pretty good lead magnet into a sale. That's very interesting, isn't it? So it's those types of reverse engineer opportunities that you have to create those really amazing lead magnets. And you may find that you have pieces of the material and you can just pull them together to make an awesome premium freebie. So, and you may also say, like, I don't know why I didn't even think about using my own experiences to create a lead magnet. So, I hope that helps you guys. I'm getting a feeling that a lot of you guys are like, I didn't know I could do that with a lead magnet. Now I'm going to try it. and it does. It works really good. People want to know how you went through your process. And just, it's usually very simple. Or maybe it wasn't simple for you, but you've simplified it since because you're like, man, if I would have known if I would have known then what I know now, this is how I would have done it. Give them that. That's amazing. Give them shortcuts. I like shortcuts. So, all right. So that's two. We really did hone in on the lead magnets. So there's two different ones. You can use freebies. You can use like a small ticket. You can use a small ticket paid lead magnet as well. They work. They work really good too. So, and then we use advertising to expand. So what is the third thing that we did? Well, you guys are watching it. You guys are watching it. We used live video. We live streamed. We didn't just live stream. We would actually utilize our platform streaming services. So but we would always have a prospect pool. So it's kind of a twofer, guys, on this one. Perfect for 2022. I was just saying this morning on a training. 22 is my favorite number. And probably the reason behind that is because whenever I can, what's the saying? Kill two birds, one stone, double up, twofers. I love doing that. So this is actually twofer for you guys. So we would use our platform streaming services, and we would couple that with prospect pools. So if you guys haven't followed me for a while, I talk a lot about prospect pools. It's a play on my environmental science background. It's a play on vernal pools. So it's a little, it's a little out there. I know most people are like, I don't know what vernal pools are. It's where, and they have these in northern Maine, which is, well, they have them all throughout Maine, which is where I'm originally from. Vernal pools will only come up during certain times of year. It's usually the spring. And they have a very specific animal, amphibian, reptiles that can be birthed there and that can live and flourish there until they're ready to move out. So like blue spotted salamanders were really cool. We got to find them, but they'd only come up in the vernal pools in this area. I mean, mosquitoes are not that I like them. I don't, because I'm actually allergic to mosquito bites. But mosquitoes, that's how they are birthed. They birth through these nice little pools of water. And the Maine swamps are full of them. So not that I like vernal pools, but I don't like some of the things that are come out of them. But yeah, so vernal pools, they're a habitat. They're a short-term habitat, right? They're a short-term habitat that can lead into another one. Same idea for our prospects. Sometimes they need more nurturing. In fact, there's a couple percentages out there. From my experience, you're going to have 98 to 99% of your people need more nurturing. Yeah, most people need more nurturing, especially as the online space gets more and more inundated with entrepreneurs, and they're coming. I mean, just wrote an article on the Great Resignation. So what was that? 4 million people quit their jobs in July. Yeah, how much you would have bet a good percentage of those guys are coming to the online space? I mean, I hope so. I think that's fantastic. I want everyone to be successful in the online space, and yes, there's room. It's gonna get a little squishy here, guys. We're gonna get squished up a little bit. So how do you stand out? You differentiate for sure, and you solve problems, you solve challenges, and you simplify. Information is really good. If they don't have to dig for it, then they're going to be really happy. I don't like digging for information. I want to find it. I've gotten really good at finding it very quick. Sometimes I discover it really quick. Within me doing some testing, I've had to work on that. When I first joined the online space 14 years ago, forget it. I wouldn't have known where to look. Freebies make a lot of sense to come in. Anything that gives me the information that I don't want to dig for. Yeah, I would have liked it. So your prospect pools, they're actually going to be pulling in people who want to learn from you that don't know. They don't know. They need your expertise. They need your guidance. It's meant to warm them. So bringing your prospects, warm them up, get that like no trust factor, and then you can bring them into other prospect pools as they grow. So I really like to have those broad Facebook groups, for example. So broad Facebook groups that they help they help a certain ideal client avatar. There's a ton of them. There I mean, there's got to be almost a Facebook group for anything you can think of. Just type in a keyword and search and then hit groups so that it segments out groups. You're gonna find there's a lot of groups. There's no limitation to how many groups that you can join on Facebook. And I don't believe there's a limitation on how many groups you can have on Facebook either. Is it always the best? No, there's some things about Facebook groups I don't love. There's other alternatives to Facebook groups for prospect pools. I mean, Mighty Networks is a really good one. I mean, even LinkedIn has a group feature, which I honestly don't love it that much. Has some of the same issues that Facebook does, which is only a certain percentage of people will see it. But the other thing is that not everybody's on LinkedIn every day like Facebook. So I mean, but there's alternatives. Like I said, Mighty Networks is one. There's a couple of other ones that are coming out that are really good. You are finding that there are CRMs for memberships. What I look for is like, okay, well, if I'm going to look at that, then I just want to make sure that when I start, I want first and foremost, I want to be able to live stream onto a platform and have all of my people come in and watch. If I'm going to do trainings there, that's important too. So, but when it comes to anything, like I said, if you are going to do marketing and attraction marketing on a platform, you want to pull everyone together on that platform if possible, or a platform that you know they would join. You can use it as a filtering process too. So if you want to have a prospect pool on another platform and you need those people that you are marketing to on one platform to come to the other, it's just a filtering process. There's a lot of different reasons to have it. Then yes, absolutely. If you can keep it on the same platform, awesome. Again, less clicks is always better. And then there's other things that you can do. So am I going to piggyback? Yeah, I'll piggyback off of this one. So I've given you guys a twofer. The twofer is prospect pools and live streaming. So the second part of the prospect pool is to live stream in there. I kind of moved into it fast without doing much of a transition. But the reason why you want to live stream into it is so they can see you. So they can see you and connect with you. They need to connect. Plus, we have expedited the whole process of taking in information from video. So thank you, COVID. Another thing you expedited for us, and that is the need for video. So if you don't like video, I get it. I don't love video. It took me a lot to kind of get over that shyness factor, that scared factor. So if people were to say what their number one fear is, you'll have a certain percentage say it's death of a loved one, and then public speaking will be a very popular one. You can kind of tell which one mine is. So yes, it took me a little bit. It's been worth it. I'm much more comfortable on video than I used to be. And I still feel awkward all the time as well. So, but I just do it because I know that people connect with me there. I know that they get really good information. They can ask me questions. I can help them when they ask more questions. So all of that ends up being really important, and video is really important. They can see you. They can see that you're real. They can hear you. They can ask questions now on these live streams. And so that's really important for the connection piece. When we talk about bridging that gap. So a lot of what we love to do at Influence Builder is bridging that gap between the human and the tech. One of the ways to do it is through video because there's a connection that gets to happen there. So we got a question. Let me see. Do you find that a prospect pool like Facebook groups makes good lead magnets as well? I see so many people use free communities to build their list. Yes, it does. It's usually I found it, yes, as just a standalone. So another one, prospect pools are really good standalone lead magnets. They also can be a really good next step. So I will use our quiz funnel. I'll use this as an example. So really good question, Kelly. So there's a lot of, and this is kind of like, am I going to piggyback off of this? Yes, I am. She just helped me transition really quick for you guys. Our quiz funnel, right? we use ads, we get people in on the ads. The main purpose is that we really want to get their email, so because we want to bring them over into our email nurture sequences. We want to segment them based on because it's a personality quiz. We want to segment them based on their personalities and also their needs, because everybody who comes in, they have different needs, and we have certain products that can filter them based on their needs. So we do a lot of segmentation. Now, if they don't want to drop their email, and some of them don't, and it's okay. I'm like, yeah, I totally get it. This is an ad that's coming into your DMs, your direct messages. It's a little weird. It can be creepy. I got it. So why don't you come over to my Facebook group? So if they don't want to drop their email, they get an invitation to the Facebook group and they come in that way. So do they also get an invitation after they've dropped their email? They do. They do. They get an invitation into that Facebook group. Do they get it even before they take the quiz? They do. They get an invitation into our Facebook group. So we actually hit them 3 times with an invitation into our Facebook group. We're advertising on Facebook. It makes sense to bring them into the Facebook group if they want to. And then our Facebook group, we focus. It's Influence Builder. We focus on viral marketing. So viral marketing, digital marketing, attraction marketing. So we do a lot of stuff in there, and they get really good material. And then we allow them to promote because we want to see what they're doing too. We want to see what they're up to in the world. But yeah, that's another way we brought it. So guess what we do? What we do in our Facebook group? We ask them for their email and we give them a very popular training, a free training. They get it if they drop their email in the question. So there's questions that you can put at the front of your Facebook groups. We ask that question. If you want it, drop your email. So we get their email that way. It all connects into our CRM, and then they go through another nurture sequence. So you can see how all of this can connect. And that is a piggyback off of this third one, which is you want to go ahead and have a prospect pool coupled with the ability to live stream. And again, you want to live stream because it is the fastest way to connect with people online if they can see you, right? If they're just coming in and they're cold, and I mean, even if you're awkward, like it's okay, guys. Like it's still you can what I usually say, I'm like, if you feel awkward, just say you feel awkward. It's the same thing you were having a conversation. Oh, this is really awkward for me. I'm not really good at this. Or I don't feel like I'm really good at this. And people just like, oh, God, bless her. She's so sweet. She's just like me. She's just like me, which is if we were going down how to build trust and influence, then relatability is huge. Relatability is huge. So it's also I'm just saying this to you guys, like it's really great to be real, be honest, and just share some of the things that you normally maybe you wouldn't share or you're ashamed of. I mean, we all are humans. We all go through these things, and sharing these things, and they're little ones. It actually helps someone else have the courage to share. So kind of that whatever we share, it can be very much what someone else is going through. And by just saying it, bringing that pink elephant out in the room and just talking about it, it gives permission and rise to those who may be dealing with the same thing. So that's why I talk about being afraid on camera. It's very true. Still feel awkward on it, but I do it anyway because I know that it's a great way for people to connect. So live stream, prospect pools, connect. You can piggyback off of that with your Facebook groups and your advertising. So you can bring people into your Facebook groups from advertising. You can use your Facebook groups and your prospect pools as the premium freebie. It absolutely is great. Always grab their emails if you can. So live stream and emails if you can within those. And all of these can intersect and connect together, all 3 of these. And we do like to connect everything as much as possible because it makes it for a really great customer journey. So I hope that helped you guys. I really love talking about lead generation. Lead generation is one of the funnest things that we get to do. It's very much a top of the funnel activity. When we talk about freebies, when we talk about advertising, when we talk about connecting with video and prospect pools, this is all things that we use in attraction marketing. We even use it in influencer marketing. So These three things have helped us 10x tribes, not just ours, clients, clients' tribes too. And you can see why. You can see why, especially when we can connect all these together and it just makes sense and we really align with those ideal clients. It just makes sense for them to come in. And when it makes sense for them to come in and be at the top of that funnel, it makes a lot of sense for them to move to the middle and then move to the bottom, which is sales, which is more sales. So, do have an offer for you guys. This is one of my favorite. This is one of my favorite uh, lead magnets. And it's not just a lead magnet, it is a paid lead magnet, a small price point. And it is my 5K in a day. It's a 5-day, 5K in a day challenge where I will teach you guys some of our fast cash flow campaigns. So we like to do these before some of our launches to some of our bigger programs. We like people to get a taste of what it's like to work with us, but we also like them to get a win. So this little it is a small price. It's not a small price point, but for what we offer, it's a small price point. Um, but this piece right here is something where people get big wins. They bring in cash flow. We end up finding the gaps or shifting their perspective of what's possible in their business with what they already have going on. So we run campaigns that are like a referral campaign, right? So anyone that you know that has people that need to know you, that's we have methodologies for reaching out, making it a win for you, a win for the potential referral, and then of course a win for the audience that gets to be that you get to be introduced to. So that's always good. If we can have a triple win in our campaigns, I love the triple wins. So that's one of the campaigns that we teach. We teach a whole bunch of other ones, but really it's used as a way for you to fill in those gaps. Fill in those gaps. There's always cash flow. There's always cash flow that gets to come in. Doesn't matter what time of year. I do like to kind of make fun of July and December because those are tough months, or they have shown to be tough months. And some people are like, yeah, that's a whole bunch of stuff in your head. And I'm like, yeah, I agree. But it's still there. So those tend to be tough months. These actually will help even in those tough months to fill in some gaps. So it's for 5 days. We start next week on the 10th. We got like 6 days. Today is the last day that if you register, you're going to get this really awesome bonus. So I like to throw in a bonus for people who come in little less than a week early, but this is our sales success schedule. It's for 2022. So I show you guys actually it's not sales sprint schedule, not sales. It's the same thing. You get success, but we're running sprints. So we run these cash flow sprints. We like to do it throughout the year. It's very much how engineers and corporates and technology companies they run Scrum, right? So we do this just with cash flow. So it's 10 days. No, it's 5 days for this one. You can actually upgrade to VIP and run for 10 days, which is what we usually do. If you sign up today, you can get the bonus, which is our sales sprint schedule for 2022. I actually walk you guys through how we plan our sprints so that if you want to plan more sprints, which most people do, once they get these campaigns, they're like, I'm going to do this always. We show everybody how we break it down. And no, I don't run sprints every month. That's a lot. I don't recommend it, but I do recommend quite a few sprints, especially to put those in front of launches. So that's one of the things I do. I teach you guys how to do that. You guys get the schedule. You guys get a Trello board that actually helps you organize your sprint and your campaigns. But that's going away today. So you have to register today. So I do need to drop you guys the link. I do. I'm going to grab it. I'm going to drop you guys the bit.ly link if you want it. If you are just coming in and you want to listen to the front of this, I got it. You guys can just go ahead and DM your email over to us and we will put you on the list and send out the replay. The replay will probably come out later this evening. And we usually do like a 48-hour replay, guys. So just come in and watch it within the next 48 hours. I get that it's almost an hour long, but it's worth it. This is a good one. You get some good tips on this one. Oh, I can put it as a banner. I'm like, oh, I can't create comments in there. I knew that. All right, you guys can see it, but no, you can't see it right yet. Hold on, because I have my comments up. Sorry, Kelly, I gotta put your comment down. Um, there you guys go. It's a Bitly. Um, so if you guys go there, you can register. Come and register today. Today's January 4th. Yeah, I had to look. I was still thinking it was like the second. January 4th by 11:59 p.m. Eastern. Get in today because if you don't, you don't get that really cool bonus. And that bonus is going to serve you all throughout 2022. And it gives you a place to organize. And so when we can put this stuff on paper, we can say it out loud that I'm going to do cash flow campaigns all throughout the year, which helps. But if you solidify it and organize it ahead of time, and put it as part of your marketing and sales plan, chances of you doing it are exponentially increased. So come on in and join us. I hope you guys enjoyed this training. And it's right before 2 o'clock, so I got done. I got done a few seconds early. And if you guys do want to see this, just one more reminder, just DM me your email. We'll add you to the replay list and we'll send it out tonight. All right, bye for now.